Welcome to the Wally Show Precast, and we, as always, at least when Zach's here, are Facebook Living this. When you were gone the other day, both the girls were like, "Oh, thank the Lord, we don't have to Facebook Live.
We get a day off."
Zach's like, "I got to teach you guys how to use it," and I'm like, "Nah, it's okay. I'm pretty dumb."
You got to give people what they want.
Yeah, I actually thought about trying. I knew it was the Mevo camera, but then I'm like, I wanted to download the app to run it just to drive them nuts while you were gone. But I couldn't remember if you do anything special with the audio or not.
Okay, I'll teach you too.
Yeah, teach me, and I'll drive them
No.
crazy. No, not necessary.
No, just because you love to see your face every day.
That is true. Oh, man. All right, so here's some of the stuff that we didn't get to during the show. And as always, we do some birthday shout-outs and things like that, but there's a tax on that where you got to ask a question. So this is from Jacqueline. Says, hey, my name is Jackie. I'm a potty from Corpus Christi, Texas, and I love that you guys are all the way down here. Yeah, we're everywhere because of that thing called the internet. I love the show. Betty is my favorite. Oh, I wish she was here to hear that. Becca is my second favorite. How does that make you feel? Good or bad? Okay,
honestly. Good, because I'm still outranking you. So
that's true, yeah.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah, let me see. And I'm praying for her and Joey, so that's nice.
Thank you.
So it's my 34th birthday. Well, happy birthday there. My question is, I need to get my driver's license renewed. I would like to know, what was your guys' first cars? Because we've talked about the names of our cars before. What was your first car?
It was a 2001 green Nissan Sentra.
Oh, wasn't that horrible van you showed up here with?
No, it wasn't. It was actually a nice car. And I crashed it 3 months after I got my license.
Really?
And they gave it to Dirk.
Oh, they gave him a crashed car? Why would
they fixed it and then gave it to Dirk.
Oh, because you don't deserve nice things?
Right, exactly. Well, the way my parents did it is they paid for the repairs, but then they took away my license for 9 months. Yeah,
9 months.
They gave up after like 7 months because then they realized
they got tired of driving.
They got tired of driving me.
That was the reason I got my daughter to get her license, because I just got tired of driving down to Columbia like 3 or 4 times a week to pick her up, and she didn't want to drive. I'm like, you have to, because Daddy is not wanting to do this anymore.
Because you are driving me. You're driving me crazy.
Yeah, that's what I felt like, man. So what was your first car, Zach?
My first car was the first one I owned, like that I bought myself, was a
that's not my money.
91 Ford Escort 2-door stick shift. I paid $1,200 cash off the newspaper, classified ads.
Yeah.
I bought it, drove it to AutoZone to get new wipers, and it did not start up after that. So I had to walk 2 miles home in my flip-flops. And get it towed to a mechanic and pay another $1,500 to get it to work again.
Caveat emptor, if you've ever seen the Brady Bunch where Greg buys a car, let the buyer beware, Greg. You got worked. I got hit like that, though, too, on my second car.
I can't say I got worked. It was my own dumb fault. Like, when I took it for a test drive before buying it, it stalled in the middle of this intersection. We couldn't get it started. We had to push it out of the intersection.
And you still bought it?
You still bought it?
Yes. The guy told us this story about how it belonged to his brother, and he's been battling brain cancer for the last 3 years, so it hasn't been driven much. So it probably just, needs to get running
and
a little bit.
I was an easy
I know.
sell.
I know. That. Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
I bet that guy didn't even have a brother.
It was bad news.
I bought a 76 76 Volkswagen Rabbit was my first car. And I had surf racks on it, and I absolutely loved that car. Had gold hubcaps. It was red and had gold hubcaps on it. And I put my own stereo in it, and I had like actual home stereo speakers wired in there. So ghetto. White interior. Oh, I absolutely love that car. And it was a great car. And then I got dumb, and I wanted a really cool car because all the other kids at school were like spending a lot of money on cars. Their parents were buying them cars left and right. And so I spent $4,000 and bought a 79 Trans Am.
Uh-oh.
I borrowed the money from a girlfriend I was dating, her dad. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I did. And then we broke up, and then I went to him and said, look, I know we're not dating or anything, but, I just know that I'm going to pay you back. And he looks at me, and I think I'm being all honorable. He goes, oh, I know you're paying me back. And so I'm like, yeah, okay. So I obviously paid him back. But the day I bought it, I drove it around, and the transmission dumped on me.
No.
Yeah, so that was another $1,100 or something. Then I borrowed that from my dad. And so then I had a $100 car, and it just drained all my money.
Later on in the podcast, we're doing the types of guys you don't want your daughter to bring home. I'm surprised he didn't call in.
Yes.
You know, I had this guy that asked me for a car loan.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So
he was so nice, though. Like, her dad was so cool. And she was great, too. Like, it wasn't like there was drama with her. He was a nice guy. He was a lot older than his wife. Like, his daughter, when we graduated, I think he was in his 70s. Like, he was really old, but it's so nice. And he played the stock market. That's all he did all day. And so that was his job. And I remember coming into their house one day, and they lived in a nice house on a golf course. And he's like, "Oh, Wally, oh, it's been a bad day." I'm like, "Really? Why? What happened?" He's like, "Oh, I lost $300,000 today." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, I can't even fathom that kind of money. And then literally, like, the next day I come back, he's like, "Oh, Wally, it's such a good day." Like, he'd made it all back plus some. I'm like, how do you do that? It's crazy.
Joey tried to play the stock market once.
Oh, and remember, Joey wanted to be a day trader since he's been laid up in the hospital.
Because he was home from April until August straight, and then he's had some stretches home since then. And so he just got to the point where his mind was fine, but of course his body wasn't able to go back to work because he has a physically demanding job. And so he was convinced he could be a day trader. So I actually not let him, because it's not like I'm in control of our money. Like, it's a decision. I was like, yeah, if you want to.
Did you give him some money to do that?
I didn't give him some
you
money.
You allocated some money together.
We decided, we're like, if you want to spend
How'd it
$100.
go? How'd it go?
He spent 100. He got 60 back. So he lost 40.
Oh,
But
yes. Day trading over.
$40 to keep him entertained for those few months. It's okay.
And get a great education.
Yes. Yeah, I'll tell
and
you,
not
man.
try it again or use more money.
If you ever think about playing the stock market as a day trader because you've watched a couple movies on it, oh my goodness. Do yourself a favor. Like that. You played with money, they're $100. You could do that with fake money, and kids do this in school all the time.
Yeah.
And see how you actually do and be honest about it.
The problem was he got a software that let you do the simulation with the actual stock, because he did foreign currencies. You don't have to have as much money for that or whatever.
Dude, yeah, and that's still risky.
I know, but he did the software, and he was doing really well in the simulation. And so it was like, okay, if you want to do it, that's okay.
Awesome.
And so yeah,
truth be told, when I was out of work one time, I had the same notion to do something very similar, and that was to play blackjack online. I know, and I still have this weird theory of how it could work. But I'm like, okay, so I bought a blackjack app, and I played blackjack nonstop for like almost 4 days. Like all I did. And I kept track of it and stuff, and I was winning so much money. Like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be the best ever. I'll never have to work again. And then I lost it all. And then I'm like, oh, I get it now. This is why you don't do this, because and especially when you have an addictive personality, this is the worst combination for you. Because like if you're playing online, it seems like you have this infinite amount of money because you're charging your stuff, and so you just keep playing till you break even again, and then you stop. Oh, stopping. That's the problem.
And there's no social pressure of people looking at you like, you need to stop this, dude.
Yeah. Just make it stop. I was at a place like that. I used to gamble a little bit back in the day, and I was at a place where I was just losing money like right and left. And there were people there going, just stop. I'm like, no. It's going to be fine. I'll get it back.
It's the one time in your life you're an optimist.
Yes, it's the worst time in your life.
Yes.
All right, so this is from Joel. Joel says, hey, love the podcast. I love what you guys do. Here's a birthday request for my wife of 9 years. Her name is Jessica. Happy birthday, Jessica. And he says, my question is, if at a moment's notice you had to run for the rest of your life living under an assumed name, what name would you pick? Oh, you know what name I would go with? Jessica Higginbotham, because that's his wife's name.
You would go as Jessica.
Yeah, I would. I'd have to change a few things. I would go as Jake Higginbotham. That is my assumed name. That's my
good name.
That's my new alter identity. Now, Becca, I think you have one in the can that you use, right, or no?
Alfredo the Italian man?
No, okay. I thought you had like a go-to name that you use. Because a lot of girls have that. A lot of girls have a name like.
No, yeah. Yeah, I haven't had to use that because guys don't hit on me. But that was the discussion, was that when a guy hits on you, you give him a fake name so that they can't creep on you. But I always fancied myself as a Margaret, or I'd go by Maggie maybe.
Maggie, I like it.
Maggie. I never came up with the last name.
Oh yeah, the last name is important. If people are streaming this, if people are Facebook living this still, you could throw out some suggestions for Becca's Maggie what?
Oh,
Maggie?
you know what? It'd have to be late in the alphabet because that's less noticeable if you're trying to hide from someone. Because if you're early in the alphabet and you're on a list,
You're right. You could
maybe somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I think of like a street name, like Lady Maggie of Thrush. Like there's a street near
Margaret
us.
Thrush.
Margaret Thrush. There you go.
That
See?
sounds like a real person.
Yeah, that's good. That's what you
Okay,
want.
yeah.
Yeah, you want it believable. Zach?
Or Maggie Pancreas would be good.
Yes.
I would go by Josh.
Okay.
In college, I got called Josh all the time.
Really?
For no apparent reason. Like, I was at an event, and someone came up to me, hey, man, have you seen Josh? And I made a joke. I'm like, no, but my name's Zach, but people call me Josh all the time. Zach, that's it. Like some perfect stranger. I had professors that would call me Josh in the back, and I'd look around and be like,
really?
Okay.
So you'd be Josh.
I'd be Josh.
I
Josh.
could totally see it. Can we call him Josh now? Zach quit, but we have this guy named Josh who's just as arrogant.
So I do Josh or Bodie McBoatface.
Yes, I like that. Or Josh Bodie McBoatface. That's perfect.
Joshy McJosh.
There's a guy that we work with here. His name is Justin. He does the night show on Way FM, and everybody calls him Jason. Like it's funny because I don't even remember how that started. I think did somebody email and said, "Oh, Jason's really great" or something like that at night, like they got his name
yeah,
wrong.
someone got his name wrong, and then we ran with it because it's funny.
And he lives in my neighborhood, and I still have the hardest time not calling him Jason. Like it's been so ingrained in me that I did it to his face the other day. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. That was an accident.
So what name would you go by?
Oh, what name would I go by? I can't have Maggie hit or Jessica Higginbotham.
You look like a Gary.
Oh yeah, no, I'd never go by that. It's too
Trooper.
nerdy. No, that was an actual nickname. Norman, because I like the name. I like odd names.
Wow.
I like odd names.
Also nerdy.
Yes, I know. Weird. Norman, and I'd have a saint in there. Norman St. Regis.
Ooh,
Or
I
Norman
like
St.
it.
James. Yeah, I'd have something in there like that
I
to
like
make me
that.
sound
I like that.
very hoity-toity.
St. Clair.
Yes, St. Clair.
Do you want to drive under the porte-cochere?
Yes. These people give me the hardest time because I know some upper crust things that they don't know. Okay, it's a carport for all of you raised in Ohio. People who have
No one
money
calls
call
it
it a
that.
porte-cochere.
We don't have money.
I know. That's why you guys have carports.
And you sit on couches instead of sofas.
Yes.
And you have curtains instead of drapes.
That's exactly it.
Or draperies.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yes.
come on.
I'm sorry.
Come on, Josh.
I can't even, yeah.
To get you guys to have an appreciation for the finer things in life, sometimes I feel like I'm just barking up the wrong tree. All right.
Can I address something really quickly?
Sure.
Someone was asking and I've gotten this question a lot actually, what kind of illness Joey has. Can I give like a 15-second rundown? Because I know we don't talk about the
I don't
We
specifics.
think
can
you
do
can,
that,
but
but
go
I don't
for
think 15 seconds is possible. Put her on the clock.
Okay, ready? Go. So he had gallstone-induced pancreatitis, which means his pancreas freaked out more than the average person, and it created all this extra fluid in his body. So he got this reoccurring pseudocyst on his pancreas that keeps collecting, and it gets infected, and it makes him really, really sick.
Oh, 13.
Ha!
2.
Yeah,
One.
I
Yeah,
I
wow.
clocked her in at 13 on my fingers. Nicely done.
I just
Wow,
wanted-
well done.
like I said, I get that question a lot, and I don't always get to answer it. So there you go.
Well, fantastic. And the good news is Joey is getting out of the hospital, it looks like
Today, yeah. So
Yeah.
he's going to do home health again.
Happy about that.
Yeah.
Happy about that. All right, and finally, this is from Vadi. It's Vadie. So I'm Vadi or Vadi. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like if you have a weird name, sorry, Vadi. Like give me a pronunciation because that would definitely
Let's
help.
just come up with nicknames. So she's Darth Vader.
Yeah,
Got it.
Darth Vadi.
Darth Vader.
Uh-huh.
But we don't know if that's the word. Never mind.
Darth Vadi. So anyway, hey, love what you guys do until you messed up my name. And I'm just a really big fan of the show. Anyway, can you wish the love of my life, Mr. John, happy birthday? He's turning 47, so happy birthday, John. I know it's short notice, but can you work this out? Yes, we can. So there you go. It was faster than you probably were thinking it was going to be, but happy birthday. My question for you is, what is the worst bridge you've ever burned in your professional life? Oh, I
What
don't
was
know
the question?
What's the worst bridge you've ever burned in your professional life? I wonder if you guys have ever done that.
Yeah, not intentionally.
Like, have you ever left a job and just left it and didn't like give 2 weeks notice or anything?
Okay, so I had this job that when I got the job, he had wanted me to agree to staying on for a year. But there was
that was when you came here.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
and it was just not my skill set. It was not the right job for me for sure. And so I worked at that job for a month, And there was nothing signed. There was no contract. I worked at that job for a month, and I got the offer here. And this is my dream job
This
and
changed your
everything I
life.
wanted. And yes,
Someone record that. She just said this is her dream
it
job.
was. It is. That's the truth. I will stand by
fantastic.
that. But anyway, so I had to quit on him after a month, which he was like, but you told me you'd be here for a year. And I mean, what do you do? But there's nothing like binding me to that. Just
Yeah.
I felt bad going back on my word. And then he actually cried when I quit, which made me feel terrible.
Really?
But he was like building a new business. So he was very invested. And I still feel guilty about it to this day.
Wow.
Because he's a good guy.
Yeah.
It's just, this was where I wanted to be for sure.
That's good. Zach, have you ever burned a bridge? I don't see you being that kind of guy either.
No, I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah. Well, let's
Generally,
not say
everyone-
that kind of guy before I
You
get to
know,
mine.
That just egomaniac,
Yeah.
inconsiderate kind of person that, no, everyone I've left has tried to win me back.
Really, I've burned every bridge up till this point, pretty much. Like, and to the
You're
point,
like throwing flares on the fire.
oh, I do. Like to the point where I had to go back and apologize to people afterwards and stuff. Like every job I left, and I did this with the relationships too. I always like wanted I didn't want to break up with somebody, and I wanted them to just not like me and break up with me or whatever. And so I just never ended things well. And, I determined like I'm going to change that in my life. I want, my next gig or whatever to end well. And because I haven't done it for so long. And I remember my last job before I came here was 99X in Atlanta. And I remember, just it not going well there. When the company that bought us took over, it was a bloodbath. They were firing people, and everybody was just, out for themselves and stuff. And I remember sitting there with the GM, like yelling at him, going, do the honorable thing and like take care of some people because you're getting blown out. You're not going to survive this either. And it was just an ugly conversation. And I didn't go out well in a lot of my past gigs, and I don't want to do that anymore. It's again because you have to go when you have to go back and apologize. It shows that you didn't do it well, and you go back years later. I think it's the right thing to do. And there's reconciliation for a few of mine, but I had a couple that ended so badly, like with screaming matches, and threats of litigation and just cops and things like that.
Oh, speaking of cops, there is a patient on Joey's floor that yells like.
That's disconcerting in a hospital.
It is. And like the police had to be called the other day because she just wanted, like they couldn't get her under control.
Really?
Like, we walked by her room one day and there was just obscenities flying out her mouth. And then last night again, she was just yelling for the sake of yelling.
Oh.
And they've had to move everyone around her because no one's sleeping at night.
And you
Like,
feel bad, like, because
yeah.
people will behave different. Sometimes people will behave differently when they don't feel good and they're sick. Kind of like an animal that, all of a sudden it bites you where it never would have bit you before because it doesn't feel good, Like, I think there's that. Sometimes those situations bring out the norm in people and they make
Yeah.
it worse. And so who knows what this lady's story is, which way that is. But in any event, you're like, I'm just trying to heal myself over here. I definitely don't need you being crazy.
Yeah. So when you said cops, though, that reminded me that they had to be called the other day.
Wow.
And it was really fascinating.
That is crazy. All right. Any questions for Facebook Live streaming? Because we are done for the weekend.
Our friend Elizabeth Clausen said that
I love
the
her.
yelling sounds like the maternity ward.
Ah,
My mom tells that story all the time when she was getting ready to have my oldest brother, so her first. Someone wheeled by just screaming bloody murder, and my mom goes, "Oh, is it her first too?" And they go, "No, it's her fourth."
oh,
wow.
My father-in-law had to walk out of the hospital because he could hear Marty, my wife, like screaming and not having a good delivery. Her delivery was tough, and he left. He was like, I can't hear her in pain like that, so he walked out of the hospital.
And you're like, "And I have to?"
I know. Oh my gosh, yeah, I was in there the whole time.
As far as questions goes, Kiara wants to know if we can pronounce her name correctly.
Kiara?
I just did, Kiara.
Was that right?
I
She
have no
said
idea.
she's named after a character in Lion King. Is there a character? Is that
Yes,
how?
it's Lion King 2. It's Kovu and Kiara.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
now was Kiara the original girlfriend or no? What was that
No,
one?
Kiara is the daughter of Simba and Nala.
Got it. Okay.
Mhm.
Nala,
And then he
wow,
falls.
your Lion King knowledge
I
is
love
impressive.
the Lion King. And then she falls for, I guess, becomes friends with because they're young lions with Kovu.
Is
who
it Scar's son?
He's a descendant of the Shadowlands, basically. So I don't think it's
Oh.
Scar's son, because that would
Oh.
make them related.
Oh, good point.
Right.
Thank
but
you.
like one of those like
They're lions.
gross
though.
lions.
It's
yeah.
a different,
Yeah.
different thing there.
So.
Wow, that's impressive.
Couple other prevalent questions. Where's Betty?
Betty
Oh.
Rock took a day off to go to the flea market. Gosh, I love that girl. Like, who takes a day off to go to the flea market?
The greatest thing about Betty is everything she does falls like right in line with what you'd expect from
Yeah.
Betty. Like there's no like we always talk about, in radio you have some personalities that are just you and then you play them up for on air.
Right.
There's no playing anything up.
Nope.
That's genuinely what she did.
The day we played What's in Betty and Becca's Purse, and Betty had a turkey call in her purse. Like, you can't plan that. They didn't know we were going to do that, and it's just like, that makes sense. I totally get that. So, yeah, she's out there looking for woodland creatures. She loves little brass woodland creatures.
Speaking of woodland creatures, a lot of people are commenting on your appearance today, Wally. They said they're asking if you got a haircut.
I did.
They
Thank
said your
you.
beard
Wow.
looks well
Did you get
kept.
a haircut?
I did get a haircut.
It looks okay.
My wife last
looks
night.
okay.
So yesterday I get a haircut, and the Dana who cuts my hair and is awesome. I love her. She goes, "Do you want me to trim up the beard a little bit?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do that." She literally just went like, because I had it a little bit of an angle. She went like this. She went like in two little places right there. That's all she had. Nothing on the sides. So my Dana, when we were walking out, goes, "So Marty, do you like the beard?" And she's like, "Yes, it looks so great. You did such a good job." I'm like, "Liar! No, she didn't touch any of this part that you're complimenting. So you just hate it because you hate it." And so now she's been exposed. My wife has been exposed.
Your wife hates your beard?
Yeah, she doesn't like it.
Oh, I thought she was the one
Nope.
keeping you on it.
No,
Okay.
I'm the one keeping me on it.
Okay.
Because the more people protest, the more I'm not going to do what people want me to do. Like, have you guys not known this about me? I will become Rip Van Winkle over here. Like, I never cater to what people want me to do.
I love your beard. That is you,
Oh.
and that is all I expect out of you, and you can never change that
Thank
because it is
you.
synonymous with you.
That's awesome. This is the first time I'm going to listen
It
to
would be
somebody.
like Abe Lincoln throwing away his hat
Yes.
Or
Thank
his
you.
beard.
or his big, huge nose.
See, you guys get it. You guys get it. Thank you. All right. Is that it? Are we good? Are we good? Are we good?
I think we're good.
Are we good? Are
Oh,
we good?
Elizabeth
What?
says Wally looks younger today.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Mm.
And thinner?
No,
No, okay.
no one said that.
Pushing my luck there.
A little bit.
Pushing my
One
luck.
thing at a time.
All right. So
Have you lost weight though? Let's talk about that.
I have to weigh myself tomorrow. I haven't weighed
Oh,
myself
okay.
at all this week, but I feel it. I feel like I have.
I'm sure you have, because that first week is always like, whoa, and
Yeah.
you feel good, especially for guys.
I really wanted to lose like 2 or 3 pounds. If I did that again, then I should be down in the 170s, and that'll give me that encouragement to
Totally.
keep going and lose more. But boy, I will tell you this: if I'm still in the 180s, if I stayed the same, it's gonna be caramel weekend. Like, it'll just be caramel. What's the point? Caramel, chameleon. It's like I saw some Boy George on The Apprentice the other day, so that's why I was referencing that. But yeah, I will give up.
Isn't it weird how with
2 weeks
weight
in.
loss, like lack of success makes you not want to succeed more?
Yes.
Like usually in life, if you don't I think we have the personalities where if we fail at something, it makes us want to try
That's
harder and
fascinating.
go harder.
Yeah.
But with weight loss, it's like, I'm
out.
Yeah.
But then once you see results, and I think the other thing too is when you see results, then people start complimenting you, and then you're like, oh, I just feel good.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
But you just feel bad though when you're not successful, and so then you eat because we turn to food for everything.
because weight loss you work so hard at, and then you deprive yourself of things that you love, and so then and I guess that's like that with a lot of other things you do. But when you fail, you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I purposely regulating myself? And because it's the strangest things. Like I feel boundaries in my life sometimes. Like, so when I stopped dieting, however many months, years ago or whatever, like I had lost a bunch of weight, and then I stopped dieting, and I remember thinking, oh, I can't have that. I'm like, oh wait, I'm an adult and I have no rules and I can do this. And then it felt so freeing, but then that's what led to me being back overweight again.
Yeah, the balance is weird because like right now with everything we have going on, I'm letting myself eat what I want. Like I was dieting at the beginning of this year, but now it's like, you know what? I deserve some extra Taco Bell. Like I deserve to get that extra side of nacho cheese.
Right.
Like I do think you can only fight a certain number of battles.
Yeah.
Like you can have too many battles, and when there's like family stuff going on or health stuff, that's probably not the time to tackle food thing on top of that.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't
It's
want
really
me
hard.
hungry during this.
Because
Right.
yeah, food
That would
is,
push the limits.
But food is that comfort thing. I used to think that people that were overweight just had no self-discipline. And like I didn't understand the mentality of it. And so, I mean, I'm not like crazy overweight, but yeah, if I lose 10 pounds or 15 pounds, that's what I need to lose. Like, that's how I'll feel better. But even being that, I now, like, we watch this show, 600 Pound Life, and they're morbidly obese. Like, how did you get to that point? But the same trigger of, like, I'm sad today, I'm going to eat, led them to that point, and it's the same thing for me.
Yeah.
My body just doesn't metabolize it like that, or I stopped at, one thing of ice cream, and they're broken in a different way and didn't stop at that, and it got like way out of control. But that same little mustard seed of a problem was the same for them as it is for me.
And body chemistry does play into it a lot.
Yeah.
For sure.
People are asking why you're bouncing. I assume some sort of exercise method.
Not an exercise method. One of two things. A, I have to pee.
That was offered as a
guess,
suggestion.
yeah.
Okay. Or B, I always do this.
Yeah.
And it's actually a little bit of both. Truth be told,
Yeah.
be told.
Lori says you have nervous energy.
I do have nervous energy.
Also
I've
trying to
always
work off the caramels he ate for breakfast.
Thank you, Lori. Yes. I had an orange for breakfast.
Oh, I had some sugar-free gummy bears. I ate more yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
And
How to work out?
it was not a significant event.
Yeah, it's good.
But it was not comfortable.
Really? Because they say that the sugar-free gummy bears will jack your intestines
But I had
up.
quite a few yesterday because I was like, okay, I had 4 the first day, and then I did fine with that. So I was like, I'll eat a few more today. And then I kept going in there because I was really sad yesterday.
Right.
And so I ate a bunch.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's in my food pile over there. You're like, what else
Well,
are you
you're
eating
not
out of
eating
there?
it.
Yeah.
That's just that. I knew that's for everybody. I know
Okay.
my limits.
All right. No, you can have whatever's
Please.
over there.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Okay. Dial
Need
it
some
back
gummy
there.
bears.
She's hangry.
Last
right,
question
last
about
question.
food. Someone asked if anyone's ever had the new chicken taco thing at Taco Bell.
It's over now.
Is it over?
taking it away.
I read a thing today that
Okay.
they're taking it away.
It was too. The price was too high on it.
you tried it.
I
that's
had
right.
it. It was good. It was like,
It's like taco chicken.
It's good for $1. If it was like $1.50, and I got it for free, and
Yeah.
so it was.
When it's
almost
for
worth that.
free and it's not that good, that's a problem.
I just miss their nacho cheese chalupas.
Mm.
They don't have them anymore.
I have the hardest time ordering there now. I figured out what it is finally because I'm like, they used to have like a cheap burrito, like it was just like a beef burrito. It was on the dollar
They
menu.
have a ton of dollar menu stuff.
Yeah,
They do.
But the burrito, like there's like a 7-layer thing. There's all these other different
Cheesy
versions.
Frito burrito.
Yeah, like,
You'd
I don't want that.
Oh, it's good.
They put Fritos in it.
Fritos
They-
inside of a burrito. So
They
it's
have
got the
some really
crunch.
good like discount options.
So I've
for
had
sure.
to ask them for a burrito, just a regular beef burrito without the red sauces. Now I figured out how I have to order because I don't want the red sauce. But
I
the
love
rest
Taco
of it's great.
Bell. It's so
I know I need to go there
I'm
today,
gonna go there today.
but I can't.
There's one right by the hospital.
All right, now we are seriously done.